Hello, you're welcome. Today we are looking at how do I stop any addiction. How to stop any addiction, or how to overcome any addiction, or how to defeat any addiction. Last week someone sent me a WhatsApp message. I've never met him before. I don't and he went straight to the point and said, "Hello, is it possible to overcome addiction?" He mentioned the name of the addiction. Please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share our videos, comment, and please subscribe to our channel to get notification. See you at the other side as an overcomer. God bless you. And he asked me whether it is possible, and I replied immediately, yes, it is possible. 100% possible with proofs. And I sent him a guide. So, what am I trying to say? Addiction of any kind is possible to stop. Whether you are addicted to heroin, you are addicted to cocaine, you are addicted to snuffing, you are addicted to vaping. This one that young people are now doing. It's now what is eating up, ravaging, creeping into the lives of young girls, young boys. That vaping. Many people don't know that technology that is now ravaging gradually the lives of the youths. Or maybe you're addicted to masturbation, or maybe you're addicted to sexual immorality, or you're addicted to stealing, which is called a kleptomaniac, or you are a maniac of any kind. You are a kleptomaniac, you are a sex maniac, you're a nymphomaniac, you are a galomaniac, any kind of maniac. Or maybe something that started from your infancy, or something that started at your adulthood, or something you learned. You want to stop it. You are no longer comfortable with it. Maybe you have gotten to a level where you have now started knowing value of things in life, and you no longer want this thing to be associated with you. I want to bring you good news, and I'm bringing good news today that there is possibility of you overcoming, stopping, and defeating that menace of a habit that you formed. Maybe you formed in secondary school, maybe you formed in university days, maybe you formed maybe you formed as a result of hardship, or as a result of depression, as a result of things that came to you, as a result of shock you couldn't bear. There are some people that formed a habit as a result of losing their loved ones, as a result of becoming orphans at a tender age. Many things happen to them. There are some psychological trauma they couldn't stomach, and as a result of that, they resorted to medication in order to cushion the effect of whatever it is that they went through. So what I want to bring you, and I'm bringing good news today, that there is a possibility of you overcoming whatever it is that is an addiction. The right steps. There are three major steps, three very simple steps that you can take. Number one is to starve that addiction. Starve that addiction. When you have a pet and you no longer give that pet food, at times come the pet will die natural death. Because whenever he's no longer finding what he eats to grow, it will stop growing. It will start dying. So it is high time you starved that addiction. Stop giving it what it's eating. Those tapes you have, that anytime you watch them, you go back to that habit, destroy them. Those mood that whenever you find yourself, you lock up yourself in a room, and the next thing is to resort to that addiction. Stop locking yourself in a room alone. Those things that encourages you, those things that stirs it up, starve it. Starve it. Don't give it room anymore. Don't give it chances anymore. So starve that addiction, no matter the addiction. Whether it is smoking, whether it's drinking, whether it's womanizing, whether it's masturbation, whether it is stealing, whether it is bad behavior of any kind, starve it. Number two is discipline. Discipline yourself. Now, discipline is a simple word, but it's a word that carries weight. Discipline is not easy. That's why even a child, when you want to discipline a child revolts. Even an adult, when you want to discipline an adult, that revolts. Because discipline is hard. Discipline is a work. Discipline is to cut yourself off from any harbinger of that habit. Discipline yourself with the kind of friends you keep. The kind of friends, I listened to somebody send me a clip the other day, and I watched a clip the other day, and I saw a young girl of 14 years that started vaping got the device from her friend during this last Christmas. She got it from her friend, and as a result of that, she started practicing it. So Discipline yourself with the kind of friends you keep. The friends you keep determines the next life you live. Discipline yourself with where you find yourself, where you stay. Discipline yourself with the things you listen or the things you hear. Discipline yourself with the things you watch. I always say this. If you have ever found yourself in the addiction of watching pornography, and whenever you watch it, it stirs you up to begin to want to do it or begin to want to engage in the habit you said you no longer find yourself doing, you know, you are no longer interested. Please, anytime you are watching movie and it gets to that stage, switch it off or fast forward it or remove it. Even some of these things that are happening, you will hear a lady that showing her private part on the internet, or people committing a married man sleeping with a married woman, another married woman, or a single lady sleeping with a married woman, or you hear all kinds of negative news. Please don't watch them. Yes, don't watch them, because you may be tempted to watch the private part of another person showing it on the internet. You think it ends that way. It doesn't end that way. I always tell people that most of those things that are being shown on the internet are not just they're not just leakages. No one has an agenda that is meant to be carried out with those leakages. Because any young man that doesn't have self-control, that watches a young lady masturbating and she leaked the video, so to say, will try that out. And then young lady that is watching it, whenever she feel horny, will like to try that out. Number 3 is to replace those acts or those habits with another habit. This time around with a good habit. You know, life does not encourage vacuum. And you can't live life in a vacuum. Once you have been doing something and you leave it, something is already there. And that thing that's already there, you can't let that thing to be there and not continue doing that the same thing. So if you want that thing to leave, you replace it with another thing. A young man with Lagos those days was fond of, when he woke up in the morning, he was just doing it as a joke. He would just go to the one corner of the room and pour a drink. And they say our forefathers, our spirits, our ancestors come and drink. And the people were laughing with him, thinking we're just making a joke. And after 2 weeks, he stopped doing it. A voice started crying from there. And he himself ran away. So I said the solution is go and replace that thing you called. Go and replace it with another thing. And another thing you need to replace it. Since you have called the Spirit of God, now call the Spirit of God to come and take charge. Whenever you feel anxious, I will advise you to meditate. When you feel angry, listen to a good music. When you feel sad, exercise. Engage in an exercise, whether indoor exercise or outdoor exercise. When you are overthinking, when you pick up a pen and a paper and write, scrabble something on the paper, no matter how it looks. Don't say I'm not a writer. Write whenever you feel you are overthinking. When you feel burnout, read. Pick up a good book, a good health book, a good literature book, a good spiritual book, a good guideline, a good book that has already the soul, and read. When you feel tired, please rest. Whenever you feel tired, give yourself a rest. Don't try to work it out when you are tired. Don't try to force yourself to make out something when you are tired. Rest. Whether it's a nap, could be 10 minutes. Just take a nap and wake up again. You will see that your energy will be rejuvenated. Whenever you don't know what to do, whenever your head is crowded, your thought is crowded, you seem to be in a dark moment. You seem to be in a moment of uncertainty, a moment of indecision, a moment of confusion. Pray. Yes, you hear me. Whenever you seem to be overwhelmed with things you don't even know how to figure out, that is the time to utilize the technology of prayer. Prayer is a communication between you and your maker. You didn't bring yourself to this world. You didn't create yourself. A being created you. So whenever you don't know what to do, call upon him. Communicate with him. Prayer is a sign of humility before God. Prayer is a sign of surrender before God. Prayer is a sign that you need his help. Prayer is a sign of communicating how you are feeling. Don't say, but he knows. Yes, he knows. Bible said in the book of Isaiah 43 verse 20, he said, put me in remembrance. He wants you to remind him. Put him in remembrance. And let me tell you something. Prayer is an exchange of your human energy with the spiritual energy. That's what people don't know enough. So prayer is a spiritual exchange, taking over what has been heavy on you, lifting it up you, and giving you a soft landing. So engage the technology of prayer. Even as you are overcoming whatever it is, engage the technology of prayer. I am telling you that overcoming whatever it is that's a habit is possible. Many of us formed one or two habits when we are growing up. But we need to overcome that, and we overcame that. I can remember growing up, there was a time I was addicted to Coke, to Coca-Cola. And it became a habit. It became a habit. In fact, I tied myself to it. That anytime I feel hungry, and why did I get myself addicted to that? There was advert they did those days, as a young boy growing up, and I saw a young guy of my age. He plaited his hair and he did the advert to the young lady, and he was not too in a good mood. And the lady walked up to him and gave him a Coke and opened, and two of them drank, and the guy started feeling well again. So after watching that advert in my secondary school days, in fact, when I was seeking for admission, that became a medication for me. Time I feel bad, I buy. Honestly, it became a serious thing. It became a serious case that if I don't take Coca-Cola, I won't get myself. And if I don't do it, I will be restless until I take that Coca-Cola. And once I take it, it will look like where someone takes Panadol or paracetamol as a result of headache and the rest of it. Before you know it, the whole thing quietens. That's what was happening to me. But that was, number one, is that I conditioned my mind to that. Secondly, it became a habit and I became addicted to it. And how do I overcome it? I now replaced it with another thing. Now, what do I replace it with? Anytime the test for this come, anytime the desire for it come, anytime I feel that bad and I needed to take it, I take water instead. And water replaced it. And in the place of taking water, I joined it with reading. So as a result of taking water, I'll be reading some materials that discourages me from that. Material that talks bad on those things. Material that talks on more on health. So as a result of reading health materials, I began to see the dangers of excess sugar. I began to see the dangers of this thing being a habit to me. I began to see the dangers of what it can do to my health if I continue. Now, I am not against those that take Coca-Cola or those that take mineral, but excess of it becomes a habit. There are people that cannot do without it in a day. It becomes a habit. So you need to deal with it. You need to defeat it. And peradventure, you are addicted to smoking and the rest of them. You don't stay with those ones that are still smoking. No. You don't inhale the smoke. That thing you say you no longer part of you don't inhale it. Sometime someone very close to me came up to where I was and he told me about a man that was that stopped smoking. The man shared the testimony with her and the man has stopped smoking. And she was so happy and she bought the man water. And he came up to us and once he was so excited that the man has stopped smoking. I told her, go and tell the man. In as much as it's a happy thing, it's a good thing that he shared the testimony that he stopped smoking, he will no longer smoke, that doctor had told him the implications and what's happening to his health. Tell the man to stay away from the midst of those that are smoking. Tell the man to stop inhaling the smoke from other smokers. That if he continues to inhale it, he will continue, he will go back to smoking. But the man didn't listen. Weeks later, I was on my own coming back from somewhere and I saw him. He was smoking with practically two hands. So if you don't replace these habits with another good habit, when they are returning back, they will not just return alone, they will return more deadly, more wicked. And the agenda at that end time is to destroy you to the last. So please replace every habit you want to stop with a good habit, with assurance that it is possible for you to overcome any habit. It is possible. Please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share our videos, comment, and please subscribe to our channel to get notification.